My name is Dan. I'm a developer on Aeron. I've been working on Aeron and Aeron-based applications for most of the last 5 years now. So Aeron Insights is a monitoring observability and kind of early warning system for Aeron applications. It's something that lets you get more of an internal view of the state of your Aeron deployment. So if there are any issues with it, it will help you to detect those and respond to them sooner rather than later. So we noticed there's a common pattern when people were building their Aeron applications, which is that as they were getting close to production, they would realize they had the need for this monitoring tool, and that would tend to prompt two questions. One was, how do I get access to the data that I need? And they would end up trying to figure that part out and then building their own application that gets the metrics into their monitoring system, which always struck me as a lot of wasted effort because everybody ends up just rebuilding the same thing over and over again. And it then leads into the second question of, what do I do with all this data? You know, I've got 200 metrics. Which ones do I care about? What should I be alerting on? And what do these numbers even mean? Like it says, my cluster is in election state 17. Like, is that a good thing? Does that mean it's working fine, or is something broken? I need to be waking up support and having them come and fix it. So what we're doing with Aeron Insights is we're building this tool so that you can save the effort of having to build it yourself, and we're doing it in such a way that it helps to show what the metrics mean, which ones you care about, and how you should be dealing with this information. So there's 3 pillars to Aeron Insights. The first is about getting you the data. So for that we have a Prometheus exporter, and it understands all the files that Aeron will write to disk and the various sources of information it can get, and it will present that in a Prometheus compatible format so you can consume it in your monitoring system. The second is a sample Grafana dashboard that consumes from this Prometheus data, and it shows you the kind of metrics that are available, and it helps you see what you might want to add into your dashboard, how you can interpret the data, what sort of value you should expect for those things. So those are the first two, getting the data and helping to understand what the data is. The third one is a command line tool that allows you to get a bit more deep insight into the state of the application, because not everything fits very well into a time series database or shows up very well on a dashboard. So the command line tool helps you to see that information in a bit more of a rich, expressive way. That's absolutely fine. The Prometheus format is very widely understood by the common monitoring tool, so even if you're not using Prometheus itself, whatever monitoring system you're using will probably understand the Prometheus format. And the Grafana dashboard is a sample dashboard. We don't expect people to just deploy that straight into production. The idea is that you can run this and see how you can interpret these metrics, and then you can use that as a starting point for building the dashboard in whatever your technology of choice actually is. Aeron Insights will show you some of the high-level state of your application, like which cluster node is the leader, which ones are the followers, are the followers keeping up with the leader, what sort of traffic rates you're seeing, and things like that. But it will also show you some more diagnostic information. One interesting one is about the timings of different parts of your application, because if your application is running slowly, you'll probably know that it's running slowly. At the very least, your customers will notice it's running slowly, but it's not always obvious why that's the case. So what Aeron Insights does is it shows you how much time is being spent in different parts of the application. So you can see, is it slow sending to the network? Is it slow writing to disk? Or is it slow running your business logic? And that then helps you to focus your investigation into the right place. And because we've seen a lot of Aeron deployments, we've also noticed that there are certain common themes that sometimes crop up with these issues, like common misconfigurations, for example, and Aeron Insights can check your deployment for those and see if there's any of those issues that you've made. So if you're an Aeron Premium customer, then you can get started right away. You'll find it in the Aeron Premium repository and our Artifactory, and in there you'll find a zip file which has an Aeron Insights sample application. And what you can do with that is you can run that. It will start a 3-node cluster, a client, it will start a Prometheus instance, a Grafana instance, and it will have the sample Grafana dashboard loaded in. So you can look at this application and see what kind of metrics there are. You can see exactly what Insights is giving you, and you can use that as a guide to start incorporating the bits you like into your actual application. And if you're not an Aeron Premium customer already, then you can come and speak to us and we'll get you up and running.